Well said.
Wakar,
said.
I think there is also one phenomenon that we should not forget. You see, in those provisions, which is, what if Europe gets in a really bad depression and is not economically attractive enough to bring more immigrants to this part of the planet? And it will be, for instance, the immigration will go to Asia.
I think that, that should be a logical. I think that will be logical. But look at now Southeast Asia. Look at Asia. Gradually now, the people, if you find Europe is destabilized, so people will, I think, start thinking. There is a lot of scope in Middle East. In Africa, I've lived in Africa for almost 4 years in Southern Africa, and I know they also have their own demographic issues. There are demographic issues in Southern Africa because of some other reasons. But now there is a lot of like African, leadership. You have seen openly, now speaking out for Africa. So maybe it starts, the reverse trend starts in case there is instability. But I don't know where. But I'm sure as the Asians get better, there'll be, maybe return of some of the manpower. But so far,
extremely unlikely. Just because of population density.
I just want to say, even
the northern parts of the world are the least dense, and the climate change, the increase in climate. So I mean, it's almost certain that the continual pattern of migration will be north.
Even if there's
going to be the U.S. and Europe. I mean, the parts of like Russia, those northern parts might become
foreigners in like that.
But I mean, those lands aren't so amenable anyways. But I'm saying there's already billions of people in. It's just from more dense areas to less dense areas, and those less dense areas are North America and Europe, and the climate from warmer places to cooler places. So I don't think anything that's going to change the direction of migration towards Europe and North America.
Even if there's a depression, the standard of living in Europe is going to be higher than standard of living in Asia and Africa. So people are always going to Europe. And the thing is that, look, I know something about Malaysia. Malaysians are very tough on immigration. If you're illegal, they're going to kick you out. Because they've kicked out a lot of Bengali people out of Malaysia. I know that. They don't give a fuck. They treat them like shit. They treat them like dogs. They just kick them out. So Europeans don't do that. They're like so kind, so soft. And then you get into a hotel. I'm just telling you,
where in Europe?
Almost everywhere. England, France, Germany, wherever. So I've looked at 10 different countries, including Finland, Norway. If the immigration goes at this rate, the Europeans are going to be like Native Americans.
Okay, I'll have to leave. Thank you.
I know one thing for sure. Here in the UK, they treat the immigrant really well. They give them whatever the fuck they want. Even England, if they want. Yeah. I know that for sure.
Exactly.
They give that whatever the fuck they want. But one thing for sure.
But that can change.
The immigration.
It's going to be too late by the time it changes. They're going to be a minority.
The population could double. So if you look at Europe and North America,
people are going to disappear.
When the money is over,
but
you could have double the population.
It was wrong what happened to Native Americans. It's going to be wrong if it happens to Europeans.
Voss ever finished his point. Voss was trying to finish his sentence.
You were saying that the white people is gonna vanish.
I'm saying that in Western Europe, there's not going to be Europeans anymore. It's going to be something else. In Russia and maybe in Eastern Europe, there's still going to be a majority, but in Western Europe, they're going to vanish. They're going to be like Native Americans. They're going to be like 10-15%.
Indians, Pakistani, and the Caribbean been living in these countries since the 40s, 50s.
No, 60s.
They were 1% of the population. If you look at the 90s census,
they came after the Second World War.
Yeah. If you look at the census of the 90s, they were less than 5% of the population. Now they're almost 30% of the population.
Where? In England?
Yeah.
In England?
If you look at the census in the 90s.
Google it.
So CFL.
Not even close to 20. Not even close to 15. It's 12 to 13. 12 to 13.
So in England, the whites are 73.5%.
CFL, you're talking about the whites, and also David was talking about the whites. But there is something people perhaps don't know. There is an amazing research institution in the Jena University in Germany, which have been studying the genetic composition of the most oldest found humans in Europe. So the first inhabitants of Europe were dark skinned, almost black, and had blue eyes. Almost everything they found in Europe with more than 8,000 years was like that. Around 7,000 years ago, a big wave of immigration came to Europe. They came from the Middle East. They called them Anatolians. They were white-skinned. Let me finish. They were white-skinned because they were agriculture. They were farmers, and they needed to have lighter skin in order to produce vitamin D. So, somewhere in time, 5 to 4,000 years ago, there was a big invasion from the steppes of Russia and China, and these people, the people of the steppes, created such an immense amount of confusion. Probably they were. We know nowadays. Probably they were running away from diseases. They were killing them in masses, so they all immigrate to the south, and they mix the whole European population. The European population is composed of 3 basic races. We are a mix of all these races.
I mean, given like a long history lesson.
If we will be keeping mixing. We always were mixing.
For 5,000 years, we have learned history that justifies the extinction of Europeans, the current Europeans.
Extinction! There will be no extinction, man. What are you talking about?
In the last 30 years, Europe has been waging war across the globe. Which
by the way, that is a theory. There is a history. From what we know from history, from pictures, from paintings.
Trust me.
We know Europeans.
Just because every month Europe receives like 10,000 no white people, doesn't mean they're taking over.
Where are they coming from, though?
The morals, you're saying just the push-pull pressure there. Right, currently there's like over 100 million
the way, David,
there's pressure of hundreds of millions of people that want to move into Europe, and right now you have governments who have ways to limit it.
There are hundreds of millions of people that want to move to
pressures limiting the migration are going to be waned, and you're going to have like a
hundred millions of people want to move to Europe.